There is a direct parallel between the three highest levels of the soul and the tefillin. These three levels of the soul are also taken care of on the 7 days of the Shiva period. Let me express it that way and then bring it to tefillin. When a person dies in Judaism, we put them right into the grave right away, the same day, same hours if we can. Because that's the Yehida aspect of the soul. That's the second surrounding light. Then we have 2 periods that totally comprise the 7 days. The first 3 days are very severe mourning, and that is in the higher level of the soul, which is also a surrounding light. So the heat is taken care of from the time of death, when you put it in the grave, and then the higher is the first 3 days of mourning. And then after that, there's a little bit lesser of severity, and that's the neshama. And that's the highest level that was in the person himself who died. Let me now express this in the tefillin, because the tefillin has the same Yehida, Chaya, and Neshama. Let's go backwards here. Let's go backwards. Let's go forwards. The tefillin of the arm is of the Bria world. So this showing of these 7, of these 3 levels of the soul, and the 3 is always a very high level of everything, because the 3 includes the right, the left, and the center pillars. It's a total completion. And when you put the tefillin on the arm, on the left arm, there's a yud on the box, wrapped in the strap of the tefillin that's right next to the box. And you put the box with the yud on the arm, and that yud symbolizes the Yehida. That's the Yehida aspect of that's represented in Bria as a yud. And then you wrap 3 times. That's the Chaya. And then you circle around 4 times. And that's the Neshama. So these 3 aspects of the soul, the 2 aspects of surrounding light, and then the highest aspect of the bodily soul, the Neshama, and it's shown by the circle kind of aspects, is represented on the arm. But then we do that sitting down because we're in Bria world there. But then we stand up and we put the head tefillin on. And on the head tefillin, we have the right side has a 3-pronged shin. The left side has a 4-pronged shin. So the right side represents the 3-pronged shin. That's the Chaya. Okay? The Chaya is in the 3-pronged shin, and that's the Hokmah level, which represents Chaya. And then the 4-pronged shin, which is it's the woman kind of. So the 3 and the 7 are represented here in the shins. And then the 4-pronged shin is the neshama. You see? So in the tefillin block itself, there's a 3 and a 4, which parallels what was on the arm. And in the, one could say, see, for me, now comes, well, where's the Yehida here? The Yehida could be in either one of two places, and I'm going to tell you it's in both. Okay? The Yehida for me is in the Dalits, in the strap of the knot in the back of the tefillin, in what I call the das lock. So when you put that upper Luz bone back into the neck, that's the das lock. That to me is the Yehida aspect of the soul. And we know it's the Yehida in a certain sense because that spot will never disintegrate. That's always attached. So this to me is it's a das, it's a dalet, see? But it's a double dalet. And a double dalet makes a final mem. And a final mem is a square. And that's the second surrounding light. The first surrounding light is the higher, it's a circle. And the second surrounding light, the Yehida, is a square. See? And this surrounding light, this dalet point, is the Yehida. So we have on the right side the higher, the higher, on the left side the neshama, and in the back we have the Yehida. It's also possible that the Yehida is just the 3 times that you wrap around the finger of the strap of the hand when you put the hand tefillin on, again after you put the head tefillin on, when you wrap the fingers of the hand. That 3 wrapping there could also be a yud, it could also be a shin, all sorts of things. That hand itself, and so that, let's say that's a yud, or forget that yud. The yud of the arm tefillin, left arm tefillin, goes with the dalet of the head tefillin and makes the word yad. So once you put the hand tefillin on, the arm tefillin, and you put the dalet in the back of the head tefillin on, you have a yad. And then you go and wrap the yad with 3 straps. You complete the yad. Why? Because in the final analysis, the Yehida aspect is in the yad. It's the 5th amos. It totals the 4 amoses of the dalet amos. The body's 3 amos. The extensions are an amos, that makes 4 amos. The extensions of the body is the surrounding light. And then the Yehida is the yad. It's equal to the 4 dalet amos. This is high level stuff. The hand is equal to the dalet amos in itself. It's its 5th amos. It's equivalent. It's what makes a man. Man is the animal with hands. The Yehida is found in the neck. It's found in the hand. Found in the knots. In the knots. Not in the boxes. Not in the boxes. It's in the knots of the tefillin. Beautiful. Now this extension comes into my tennis today when I realize that all this time I'm trying to get the head balanced, this and that. Boom, put it up, head up, straightens out everything. And even if I'm a little bit back too far, it's like I'm walking backwards. So for my body posture for right now, until I have another evolution in my consciousness, my head's up. My head's actually tilting side, kind of back where the yarmulke is, not forward. If I walk, maybe I'll go forward, but otherwise my head is back up. And I'm going to go out where the yarmulke is, and my yehida is into my neck. You see, the das lock, dad lock. And for me, personally, right now, that straightens me out. Gives me a feeling of being wrecked and positioning my body accordingly to let the energy go through the center line. I might as well give this now. I think the mother letters are in the tefillins and through the head. In other words, there are three mother letters, Aleph, Mem, and Shin. These mother letters, obviously the Shin is on the tefillin of the head. And it does unite Chokmah and Bina. 3 in Chokmah, 4 in Bina, the Shin. But for me now, the Mem is in the back. The double dalet is a Mem. And when I do the das lock, then the other Mem is in front. So I have two shins like this. That's this way. I have two Mems like this. This is in the space cube, by the way. This is not the 3-line vertical tree of life, but the space cube, where there are 6 directions. And the shins are, I have to, right and left. And the Mems are like north to south here or whatever. So the point is, my das lock gives me the final Mem. So I project another Mem through the front. And then the vertical line is the Aleph. And when I put this correct, and my das lock goes in, my vertical line goes right through. And my great secret for this is I'm going to put my tongue in the upper palate. And get the nectar of the upper palate. And it makes a vertical tongue. And that's the Aleph. So my Mem's in back and coming this way. My shins are this way. And my Alephs are this way. And when that's correct, it goes straight down through my body. So this is what I'm working on now. Besides other things. The other things are that there's no difference between Ein Sof and Sitrakra. That's actually my expertise. There's no difference. The world is perfect as it is, and it unfolds Something happened to me today. I was in the park playing. A man starts taking my picture while I'm playing. I start yelling at him for not asking me ask me to take my picture. Just don't take my picture. And he starts talking this and that. We go through a long talk. He's a scientist. Turns out at the end, his girlfriend, he's an older, 68, but his girlfriend's in cancer hospital. I wound up giving him a blessing. Wound up giving him a blessing. But how did we meet? We met on a thing that I don't like. Somebody taking my picture. Somebody taking what I call the second commandment. Which this is too. And it wound up me giving him a blessing. Why? Because the thing was fated from the beginning of time. Unfolding. The world is perfect. It's unfolding in time. So something that's full has to unfold in time. Something that's perfect still has to unfold in time. And that's a great secret. So what looks like evil is only because it contains something that's unfolding. And so, in other words, don't change anything. Everything was always perfect from the beginning. But sometimes they have to unfold. Even when you have a plant, you have to put water, you have to put fertilizer to grow the plant. And it takes time to grow. But that doesn't mean one can't see that everything is perfect. And it's put here for us to see that way. And that's enough for today.